Hey, what's up guys? Kalijyx here, back again for another reaction and review of Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 2. Today we're going to be watching Episode 80, or Episode 21 of Season 4, Part 2, From You 2,000 Years Ago. I hope you guys are ready for this, I know I am. But of course, before we get started, I gotta warn you, this video is going to contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched the latest episode, what are you doing with your life? Seriously, if you don't want spoilers, you might want to click on something else, but if you're all caught up, let's get to it! I'm excited. Alright, let's get right into it, let's go! And yes, I am reacting to this episode again. I am watching it for the first time as I'm recording this. I know it's probably not as exciting, since I'm not showing my face as like other reaction content is, but I don't show my face anymore because people are weird. But anyway, let's get to this. Alright, so we start out with a scene of Grisha and Freda fighting as Titans. They're going at it, and then he freaking sits on her. That was pretty funny. And he just starts punching her and tearing her apart. Oh god. And up there she goes. Grisha now has the founding Titan. Man, his Titan's ugly. Squish! Squish! Splat! Ew. Oh, that was nasty. He just showed him killing everybody. Man, the last episode was so crazy. I'm not even quite sure exactly what happens next. I can't quite remember. But it's gonna get crazy! And here they are reusing scenes again. Is this really necessary? I have such a limited time. Why do we have to have repeat scenes like this? We just saw this in the last episode. I mean, this is a good scene. Like, I love this scene with Grisha and Zeke. But, like, we literally just saw this. Do they think we forgot over the course of a week? God, Grisha's sobbing is so sad. You must stop Eren! Oh dang, okay, here we go. Still haven't seen the part where I eat him. Did you push father to fight the king of the walls and the world? Was it you, Eren? Did you do all this? So yeah, we're back in the paths with Zeke and Eren. And Zeke is like, if the Attack Titan really has the power to transcend time, you could have just showed him the memories which suited you to alter the past. And he's talking about how Grisha hesitated to carry out his mission, that he knew he couldn't use the founder, and he stole it and entrusted it to you, Eren. Because of what he'd seen in the future, what you showed him. And Eren says he's grateful to Zeke, because all that was only possible because Zeke brought him into Grisha's memories. So when I talked about this in the last video, this is some serious, like, Terminator time travel kind of crap. Like, how does this even work? Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And this so lends itself to that whole time loop theory, if you guys remember that. Again, I'm not gonna get into manga spoilers, but I'm gonna talk about that a little bit after this review. So, which I think I forgot to say, in case you haven't seen my reviews before, I'm gonna stay away from manga spoilers during the first part of this video, but I will get into them later. So I will give you a warning when that time comes. If you're anime only and you don't want spoilers, I'll give you a warning before we get into that. But anyway, let's continue. So Zeke's like, Grisha said it wouldn't go my way, that you're gonna get what you want. And Eren's like, yep, I saw it all 4 years ago. I saw my own future through Dad's memory. What a sight it was. So yeah, that's a freaking mind trip. Eren saw his own future through Grisha's memories, through the memories Grisha had of Eren manipulating him. God, this story's insane. So then Zeke orders Ymir to make the Eldians unable to have children anymore, and she starts turning around, and Eren looks over. He's like, oh hell nah! Then Zeke's like, Grisha told me to stop you. He regretted listening to you. And Eren's getting mad. He get mad. He's pulling against those chains. So Zeke is like, I don't know what kind of future you saw through father's memories, but you didn't see everything, right? So that's interesting. We are definitely going to come back to that again later in this video. Zeke's like, for example, you didn't know you couldn't use the Founder's power here. You're as powerless as ever. Oh no, Eren. Have you been thwarted? Oh man. Ooh, Eren's not happy. Oh god. He's gonna tear his freaking hands off. Ooh. Ouch. I wonder if that hurts. He has no thumbs. So Eren breaks free. He starts to run towards Ymir. And Zeke's like, it's no use. Once Ymir has started to move, no one can stop her. So after the opening sequence, we have a flashback of Historia and Freda, and they're reading a book together. They're cute together. So Freda sees that little Historia has a runny nose, and she gives her a tissue, has her blow her nose, and then she's like, you gotta learn to be more ladylike, Historia. And Historia asks her, she's like, what does being ladylike mean? And Freda tells her, well, it's a lot like being this girl right here in the book. And Freda's like, you like her too, right? And Historia's like, yeah. Ooh, Ooh, it looks like we're gonna get Ymir's backstory in this episode. Awesome. Alright, okay. Let's do this. So we see Ymir in this village. Ancient village, I guess. And everybody in this flashback has these weird whited out eyes. It's kind of creepy. So she's getting some water from the well, and then in the distance, the villagers see these spears and these soldiers coming. And the next scene, we see the village is on fire. And it looks like these soldiers have enslaved everybody there. Killed or enslaved everybody there. Someone's narrating. I guess I must be Freda. She's like, the world's full of pain and suffering, so you should live in a way to be helpful and loved by everyone. So we see little Ymir. She's a slave now. She's working in this other village. And she sees this couple getting married. And we hear a man speaking. He says, someone let a pig loose. If nobody fesses up, every one of you will lose an eye. He says slaves have no need for two. So we see people pointing fingers. And they're pointing at Ymir. Everybody's blaming her for some reason. So the person speaking, he's the king, and he's like, you're the one who let the pig escape? She's standing in front, everybody's looking at her. And she doesn't say anything, but she bows down, and the king says, very well, you are free. Free in quotation marks. So then we see her running. This is a sad scene. She's bleeding, she's got arrows sticking out of her. People are chasing her on horseback, shooting at her. God. So she falls down a hill, she comes across this tree, got a big opening in it. They're searching for her, so she goes inside to hide, I guess. So inside this big tree, she slips, and she falls into this pool of water. And as she's sinking down, she's drowning. Then this worm thing, wow, that looks cool. I like how that's animated. This worm thing comes and attaches itself to her back. And then there's this explosion, and boom! There it is. The first Titan. So weird. I was so convinced for the longest time that it was some kind of science experiment. I really wanted it to be. I guess that would be kind of cliche though, but it just made sense. But anyway, I guess the lore behind Attack on Titan is really based more on mythology than anything scientific, which is fine. That's cool. So some time has passed and the king is talking to her, and he's like, you've done well, my slave Ymir. You've built roads, cultivated the wilds, and bridged mountains. He says, my tribe Eldia has grown quite large, thanks to you. As a reward, I shall give you my seed. Oh, thanks. Who wouldn't want that for us? And he's like, in the name of Fritz, annihilate the vile people of Marley. So this is where it all began. Man, her Titan is freaky looking. She's got like this skull face and this rib cage sticking out. Ugh. It's cool though. So yeah, it shows a battle with Ymir, her Titan, behind all the soldiers. It shows them come back to the village, victorious, holding the heads of their enemies on the ends of their spears. And it shows Ymir sitting on a deck in a chair, pregnant. And then it shows a baby. Ymir has had her baby. So then there's another war scene where she's turning into a Titan. And she really does look a lot like Historia. She's having more kids. Civilization is progressing more and more. A lot sure happened during the time span that she became a Titan. And now their society has progressed significantly, all because she became a Titan, I guess, and won all their wars and took over everybody, I'm guessing, and their technologies, and enslaved a lot more people, I guess, to help them build stuff. So much has happened. So the king is old now. It shows Ymir with her 3 kids, walking towards him between all the soldiers, standing at attention. He's got quite the grand kingdom now. So then one of the soldiers betrays the king and tries to kill him. They jump up and grab a spear and throw it towards the king, and there's a splatter of blood, and then we see that Ymir has jumped in front of the spear and prevented the king from getting killed, sacrificing herself to save him. And the king's like, what are you doing? Get up. He's like, I know you can't die from just a spear, my slave Ymir. That rhymed. He's a regular Dr. Seuss, he is. So she closes her eyes, and she dies, and it kind of leaves you with a big question there. Why did she die? She should have been able to heal herself, but for some reason, she died. So the king even says it right there. And you know, we've seen Titan shifters take on much worse injuries than that, so I think it actually says at some point, I think it was about Reiner, that a Titan shifter can only heal if they have the will to live. So apparently Ymir just didn't have the will to live. She wanted to die. Which, who could blame her? So we're back in the paths for a second. We see Ymir kind of looking off in the distance, and then we see, we see meat being chopped up. Oh god. King's like, feast, my daughters. Whatever it takes, Ymir's power must be carried on. Gross. So he's got, the kids eating her body. You know, he could have at least cooked it first. I'm sure he can afford a chef. I mean, why do they really have to eat it raw like that? Like, that's just disturbing. But anyway, disturbing either way, but I mean, extra disturbing eating it raw. But anyway, we find out that Ymir's 3 children are named Maria, Rose, and Sina, which of course you will recognize as the names of the 3 walls that the people in Paradis live inside. So of course that means whoever built the walls, the king of the walls, I guess, named them after these 3 kids, after Ymir's children. So back in the past, we see Ymir. She turns around to look at the coordinate, and this is interesting because the coordinate only has 3 branches. So this is Ymir in the past, during this time, during the time that her children inherited the Titan power. Now, how they knew eating the body would pass on the Titan power, I don't think it ever explains, but I digress. This is the beginning of the subjects of Ymir. These 3 kids are the first 3, and of course we'll see that later on the paths, the coordinate ends up branching out into thousands and thousands and thousands of branches over time. Maybe millions. Probably millions. But anyway, this is the start of all that. So the king's on his deathbed. The 3 daughters are by his side, and he says, "My daughters bear children and multiply. Ymir's blood must be passed on. If my daughters die, feed their spines to my grandchildren." Again, not sure how they figured this out, but okay. If they die, feed their spines from child to child. And then we see a bunch of Titan shifters. All the different Titan shifters that have come into existence over the centuries. Ymir back in the paths, she's carrying this bucket of water. She's using the sand to build something. We see she's building Titans. Ew, that one's creepy. Look at that face. Gross. She drops the bucket of water and collapses on the ground. Building Titans must be tiring. God, look at that creepy face. Ew. Actually kind of reminds me of Pink Floyd's The Wall. That was a great movie. Anyway, King's still talking. "Even after I pass, Elia will dominate the land with its monstrosities." Look at all these creepy Titans. Creepy sand Titans. Why are they all got their mouths open like that? That's so creepy. And then he says, "Our Titan shall reign supreme for eternity, until the world's end." For eternity. Then Eren suddenly cuts this memory short. He says, "I'll end it. I'll put an end to this world. Give me your strength." And he's holding Ymir. He says, "You're not a slave. You're not a god. You're just a person. You don't have to bow to anyone. You can decide. It's your choice. You get to choose." And he's saying, "Do you want to stay here for eternity, or should I end this?" And Zeke's like, "What the hell?" He stands up. He's like, "Eren, stop that. Stop that right now. What's the big idea? What are you doing?" So he starts running towards them. He's like, "Ymir, obey my command. Make the Eldians unable to reproduce." So Eren lowers his voice and he's like, "Were you the one that led me here?" Zeke's still running towards them. He's like, "Do it now!" Eren's like, "You've been waiting this whole time." Zeke's like, "Remember, I'm a descendant of royal blood, you're supposed to listen to me." So Eren says, "You've been waiting here all this time, for 2,000 years, for someone." Time slows down. Zeke's reaching out to them, and now you can see Ymir has eyes! She has eyes! And she starts crying. Boom! Eren has set her free! And there's a freaking worm! Oh, gross! I like how they did the worm in the anime. It looks really cool. Oh shit! So that worm, it pops out, reattaches itself to Eren's head. Eren's eyes shift to look over at Zeke, and then boom! See, there's that lightning. Here it comes. Oh my god, here we go. Oh shit. There goes the walls. Oh man, they're breaking apart. Oh god. Oh, it starts breaking under Peak. Armin and Mikasa are there, like, what's going on? Bye Flock. I hope you get crushed. I see everybody. There's Gabby, John, Connie. Oh man, look at that. Oh shit. This is too cool. It's horrifying. But holy shit. Yes. There it is. There they are. Oh god. Whew. Everyone's looking on. There it is. Ribcage demon. There goes the colossal titans. There's so many of them. Wow. Amazing. Look at that thing. It's like slithering like a snake almost. So we see Mikasa and Armin, and they're kind of looking on like, what the hell is that? Mikasa's like, it looks like it came from where Eren was. And Armin's like, he did it. Eren did it. Mikasa's like, what? And Armin's like, we won. Eren has control of the founder. And Mikasa, it's so loud she can't even hear what he's saying. But he's like, if the rumbling has begun, Eren is the one behind it. Armin says he's gonna crush the global alliance assembling in Marley. And he says Eren is our ally. He always has been. Man, that's something. What a sight that would be. That would be the most horrifying thing ever. Mikasa's like, Eren came home to be with us. So Armin is like, you notice something? And he's like, you're kidding. That's weird. It can't be. He's like, even Wall Maria has come down. He's like, what's the point of this? If he's just crushing the global alliance, why would he take down Wall Maria as well? Armin's like, Shingashina's walls should be plenty. Why give up the greater walls to attack? Like, if he's just gonna take out the alliance, then why does he need so many? Uh-oh, what's going on here? Whoa. And then suddenly, Armin and Mikasa are in the paths, and we can hear Eren talking, and he says, hear me, subjects of Ymir. And they're back in the real world, and then they're back in the paths. And she's like, I can hear Eren talking. So Eren is like, my name is Eren Yeager. We see Jean is there too, and Connie, and Eren says, I'm using the Founding Titan's power to address all subjects of Ymir. We see Reiner's there. Eren says, I've undone the hardening of Paradis Island's walls. There's Gabby, there's Peak. Eren says, and the Titans buried within have begun their march. And there's Falco. He says, my goal is to protect the people of Paradis Island, the place I was born. And there's everybody else. However, the world wants to exterminate my people, and not just on the island. They will not stop until every last subject of Ymir is dead. So we see Flock there. Can't really tell if he's happy about this or not. I think he knew what Eren's plan was, I'm guessing. But maybe not to this extent. Not sure. We also see Historia sitting in her chair. She doesn't look too surprised. Did she know? And Eren says, I refuse to let them. The Wall Titans will trample every inch of the world beyond this island. Ooh, that's a scary face. Until every last life beyond our shores is wiped out. And it's over! God dang! Good dang! How can you just end it like that? Ugh, so short. Why can't it be longer? Oh man. So excited for next week's episode. Dang. It was crazy. That was crazy. What a freaking trip. Wow. I feel the same way I did when I saw this part in the manga. Like, just speechless. Like, holy crap. Let's watch the preview. I was hoping it would show Eren's Titan. The face. I guess we'll have to wait till next week. So it shows a bunch of Titans in the city. That was kind of an oversight, I guess. I thought you were trying to protect everybody, Eren. Why is there Titans in the attacking people inside the walls, or where the walls used to be? Anyway, the next episode's name is Thaw. It's an interesting name. Man, that was a crazy episode. The rumbling has begun. Oh man. I don't know if anybody will remember, but I made an AMV a while back to the song Circe from Ghost. I don't really know how you pronounce it, for Attack on Titan. And somebody suggested I remake the AMV to the end of the anime. I'm definitely going to have to do that. That'll be pretty cool. Amazing episode again. So good. So crazy. This is getting insane. Anyway, here we are. We're at the end of it. So now, here comes the point where I start getting into manga spoilers. So if you're anime only and you don't want spoilers, then you're gonna click off the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss more. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Okay, final warning. If you don't want spoilers for the end of the story, click off now. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about a few things, so this isn't gonna be super long. But anyway, we talked a little bit in the last video about how Eren said he could only do what he did because Zeke showed him Grisha's memories. And this is so interesting because it really lends itself to the time loop theory, which I think is still, like, definitely possible. Like, it never really confirmed it in the manga that there was any kind of time loop going on, but it definitely suggests it. Like, I think there's definitely some kind of time loop here, either a time loop or some kind of, like, alternate universes. I think that Isayama's kind of confirmed that there are alternate universes in Attack on Titan. I've heard that the school casts are one of them, possibly a timeline that could have happened if the Titans were never a thing, which I think is super cool, super interesting, which means that there could be endless parallel universes in the universe of Attack on Titan. And I've actually theorized about this. I don't know if anybody will remember, but a long time ago I was talking about this theory. I made one last video about it right before the final chapter came out. So I definitely think that's part of it. So this loop, or this particular parallel universe, is just one iteration of all sorts of things that could have happened, all sorts of timelines, and this just happens to perhaps be the one where the Titans were finally destroyed, and that's the story we're being told. So in a way, I think I'm right and wrong about this being the only way, this being the only thing that could happen. In the last video, I kind of went on this string of thinking where that kind of brought me to the conclusion that since Eren didn't have any future memories from a future inheritor of the Attack Titan, then this was inevitable, because if there was never going to be one, and the Titans had to be destroyed while he was the Attack Titan. They had to be eliminated, because even if he died with the Attack Titan, even if no one directly inherited it from him, it would have been sent to a random child, a random alien child. But that doesn't really make sense, because there's so many possibilities. If Eren was able to see all the future possibilities from any potential Attack Titan inheritor, from any universe, from any course of action that could have been taken, then that would probably have been a lot. There would probably been a lot going on there. I think Eren, when he saw the memories, it only showed him what could be possible from that point. So at that point, when Eren touched Historia's hand, things had happened that had kind of solidified this timeline into where it was going, or where it could possibly go. And Zeke says himself, like, he tells Eren, I don't know what you saw in this future through Grisha's memories, but you didn't see everything. And I think that's kind of a confirmation from Isayama, from the story, from the narrative, that Eren didn't see everything in his memories, which means that there could be other outcomes. Just because Eren saw only one future doesn't mean that had to be the only future. And remember, we did get that scene too with Mikasa at the very end, that this alternate reality where Mikasa and Eren were living in that cabin together. They kind of run away from the world. And she asked herself more than once, like, if I had made a different choice that day when they were in Marley, and Eren asked her how she really felt about him, if she would have told the truth and said how she really felt, if that would have made a difference. And I believe that this alternate memory scene in the final chapter, or around the final chapter, I can't remember if it was final chapter, second to last chapter, or something like that, right at the end there somewhere, that definitely suggests that if she had made a different choice, that there would have been a different outcome. Mikasa ends up being the key in all of this, which is weird. It's kind of like that whole Mikasa and Ymir thing, it kind of comes out of the blue. Like, in a story that's so full of foreshadowing, it's weird that that wasn't really foreshadowed very much. There's not a lot of hints sprinkled around throughout the story of something like that happening. Like, it's not even really made clear that Eren even feels that way about Mikasa at any point. You know, except for that moment when he's asking her how she really feels. Or he asked her, I think he asked her, what am I to you? Like, something like that. So for people saying that this outcome was inevitable, I really don't believe that at all. I think the story makes it pretty clear that there could have been different outcomes, that there are different ways this story could have gone, that Eren didn't have to kill 80% of the entire world. I'm sorry. It just didn't need to happen, okay? It's cool. The Titans and the rumbling and the ribcage demon that Eren becomes. Visually, it's badass. But, you know, just on a morality level, Eren, he didn't have to do it. I'm just saying, I mean, the story's great. I'm not saying that I want that the story should have been different. Okay? Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. Maybe they could alter some things at the very end there. I might actually make a video about the end and how it could be different in the anime. I'm really wondering if they're going to change some things just because of the reception that it had, and the fact that Isayama himself wasn't really satisfied with the ending, it sounds like. So, but we'll see. No, I'm glad we got to see the rumbling. It's cool, it's crazy. it makes the story ridiculously epic and horrifying, and that's why I love Attack on Titan, because it is horrifying. Okay, it's one of the reasons. I like it for a lot of reasons. But honestly, there is nothing scarier than freaking Titans. Like, if they were real, if Titans were real, if you saw them in real life, yeah, pants will be shitted in. Anyway, but let me know if you would want to see that video though. Like I've been thinking about it. I think I'd really like to make a video about talking about the ending, talking about how it might change, how it could be different, what they might change, what they should change, what people didn't like about the manga ending, what I would like for them to change, etc, etc. And maybe I'll also talk about that fan comic book, Attack on Titan Requiem. If you guys haven't heard of that, it's like this alternate ending for Attack on Titan, and it's really cool. There's only 2 chapters, but I really like it so far. Not quite what I would have wanted, but there are some things that they put in it that I really felt like the ending, the official ending, was missing. Like, there's this whole confrontation between Eren and Armin where they really go at it, and like, I really wanted to see that. It never really happened. It was just that whole, you know, Eren getting all whiny and wimpy and crying about Mikasa, and Armin just being like, oh well, you're dumb, but I guess I'll clean up your mess for you, you dummy. I really wanted there to be more conflict between those two in the end, so I appreciate that Requiem kind of satisfied that need in me. Let me know if you would want to see that video. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys coming to watch these videos. Please make sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. I don't care what. Just leave anything. Help me out with the engagement so it'll do better in the algorithm. I would really appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe, of course, hit that notification bell, share this on social media, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks again, guys. Peace.